Hey everyone, it's Rosalinda here. It is a beautiful day today. The sun is out. It's going to be up mid to upper 60s, so I'm so excited to get started on this pile. Come on. I'm out in front of the compost tent, and we're about to start a new compost pile. So we spent yesterday gathering up the last of the starting materials and prepping them, soaking the woody materials, and today is assembly day. I love assembly day. So exciting. So Rob and Brandy are coming over and they're going to help to assemble the pile, and this will be Rob's first time, so he's really excited and we're really excited to have him. So thanks a lot, Rob. We still needed to prepare a second pallet. So I had some galvanized wire mesh and I stapled it down onto the pallet. You want to be sure to use a heat treated pallet, which will have an HT on it. And when you put the 1/2 inch galvanized mesh over the top of the pallet, you want to staple it down good because it can become a tripping hazard real easy. And another thing that I just recently learned in talking with a new client is she asked about, like, when you lay your pallets down, she noticed that her 2 pallets, the boards on one pallet were going in one direction and the boards on the other pallet were going in the other direction. And so she asked if that would be a problem. And although our pallets are not all running in the same direction currently, we have learned that it is a good idea to have all the pallet boards running the same way, because even though you have the wire mesh on there, still sometimes your feet can kind of go in between the pallet boards, and it can be really even more challenging if you're trying to navigate it in different directions. So when you lay your pallets down, lay all the boards in the same direction. Okay, having the galvanized wire mesh on top of the pallet before you put your pile there helps to ensure that air is going to get underneath the pile, which is important because when that bacteria starts breaking down the starting materials, they're like using up all the air in the room, and so they need to keep the window open while they're getting busy. We had some technical difficulties, so we didn't really get any footage of assembling. This is footage from a couple days later. You see, me and technology, we don't always get along. It is inevitable that when I'm trying to get something done with electronics, especially in a certain time frame, the electronics just, I don't know, they change how they operate all of a sudden from the last time I used it, or, oh, it's just infuriating. But anyway, I have since figured it out. It's got something to say over there. As an example, here is a picture. A friend of mine was texting me a picture of her garden, and this picture is what appeared on my phone, which is not at all what she took a picture of. So it's just weird. We drained all of the starting materials that we were soaking overnight. All right, we're done. We started about noon. We got done around 2 o'clock. The pile is assembled. So exciting. So the first thing we want to do is stick the thermometers into the pile to get a reading of where it's starting at. So here's where it started. You know, they say you should check it every 24 hours. I get so excited that I like to check it 2, 3, 4, 5 times a day. It doesn't hurt it. You know, I just keep the thermometers in the pile and note what readings they are, because if they get hot enough, you know, up to some of our goal temperatures of over 131 degrees Fahrenheit, then I want to know, because if I can turn the pile earlier in the day than say 2:30 when we were done, which would be like 24, 48, 72 hours later, turning the pile at the same time. But if I can get a reading earlier in the day that is hot enough, then I'm going to start the clock ticking right then. So then we can turn the pile sooner. So that's my strategy. So it only took us about 2 hours to assemble the pile and clean up too. It's important to clean up right after you're done with the job, because the bacteria, you know, gets on our starting materials even before we start assembling them, because bacteria is everywhere in the air, in the water, and, you know, in our soils. So there's no escaping it, and it's actually a good thing. We want to work with the bacteria. My point is that when the bacteria is breaking these things down, even as we're assembling the pile, there are glues that are going to be sticking to our tools and our equipment, like our buckets, or, you know, we use a kiddie pool a lot of times for turning our piles. And so washing our equipment and tools right away is important, because otherwise those glues are going to stick and they can become a lot harder to get off of the equipment. So do it right away, to give it a good rinse, give it a good scrub if it needs it, and then set things out to dry. There you go, easy peasy. Okay, so in our next video we're going to be checking in to find out how long it's going to take this pile to heat up. So if you have any guesses on how long it's going to take before this pile that we assembled today heats up to at least 131 degrees Fahrenheit, drop it down in the comments, and we'll see you in the next video. All right, take care.